Hello, hey, and welcome. Come on in to today's live stream. We are talking about an important and essential, really, topic about feminine energy. So please dive on in. I would love to see you. And just give me a second to check on a few things. Sorry to... they keep changing the way they do things, which doesn't help. Basically, it makes it trickier for us to see what you're doing. I want to be able to engage you whilst we are here. Okay, if you want to watch page. See what you're doing. I want to be able Oh, gosh, well, we don't want to hear my voice. Okay, good. All right, lovelies. Hey, come on in. Tell me if you are there. We are going to be talking about feminine energy, what it is, how you find it, and how to get more of it, which is really what we need more of, which is more energy, which is more feminine energy. Good. Okay. Hello, let me just see who's on board. Let me say hello. Hello, Ms. Lee. Hello, Gratitude First. Hello, Vanessa. Hello, It's Time. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Stein. Hello, welcome. So keep announcing yourselves. We are talking about an important topic today, which is about feminine energy. Excuse me. So we're going to get started. Let's get started. I don't want to waste any more time. So, all right, just give me a second to take a breath and take a bit of tea. Always drinking tea here at Powerfully Feminine Central, as you know. All right, so in today's video, I'm going to be discussing feminine energy. What is it? How to get more of it, and how this affects your true feminine power and energy, okay? Or really what we call your feminine emergence here, okay? So I'm going to be covering three things, essentially. Three things. First up, what is energy? Where is it gone? And that women are looking in the wrong place for it. Number two, how and where to find this inside of you. And then number three, how does this really relate to your feminine power? And I do want you to stay until the very end, because I do have an invitation for you to a very special event that I am conducting this very weekend. This weekend, not the whole weekend, just Saturday. And I would love to invite you to join me in this day-long event. Okay. Let me take a sip. All right. So let's start here. What is energy? Okay. Well, the thing is, energy is life force. Okay. So just think about your energy. You see, if we didn't have energy, we didn't have life force, then our body would be dead. This is what happens when the body dies and goes into rigor mortis, is the energy body has departed, okay? And so has the soul, but the energy departs and it creates rigidification, right? And so energy is the thing that keeps us in fluidity, keeps our body juicy. It's the water element, okay? It keeps us alive, which is an aspect of the feminine, okay? The water element is an aspect of the feminine. So we're really talking about this wateriness, this fluid thing inside of us, yeah? And we all have it. It's all there. It's just that for so many of us, especially women, there's been a huge suppression of it, okay? We end up suppressing the life force. So let's just go back a step. How did this life force come about? Well, one day, way back, there was a sperm and then there was an egg, and they came together, and as the sperm penetrated the egg, it was the spark that started life, okay? It engaged this mysterious spark of life that then doubled its cells and then quadrupled its cells and then doubled that again and doubled that again. Now, if you've ever seen cell division underneath the microscope, it's totally fascinating. Like, I was mesmerized in biology class when somebody first showed me a film of cell division. of life happening. I could see life happening underneath the microscope. And I think in lots of ways I've spent my whole life fascinated about life, about this energy, this force. So what is this? This is sexual energy. This force inside you is sexual energy. It's normal. It's natural. It's something that started you, that created you. You wouldn't be existing right now listening to this. Your very existence came from this spark of life, this sexual spark of life. We are made from a sexual energy, okay? Now, so what's getting in the way of it has become a lifetime of conditioning, judgments, beliefs, traumas, all of these things that have just pushed and pushed and pushed down this very natural force of life inside you. Now, obviously here I am equating life force with sexual energy, with feminine energy, because they are essentially the same thing. They're essentially the same thing. So if I were here talking about feminine power and energy, and I were to not include a conversation about sexual energy, it would be an intellectual exercise, okay? We have to talk about this. Now, as women, we have to be able to talk about it freely and openly, including those conditionings and traumas and beliefs that have got you out of relationship to this natural force of life inside you that once you get into a positive relationship to, suddenly everything turns back on again and you feel alive and you feel happy and you feel flow and you feel connected to life, not just inside you, but what starts to happen is you start to be able to feel connected to the very flow of life that flows through your very body and energy. Okay? So Raya said at the very beginning is sometimes women are looking in the wrong place. To get your energy back, like my energy's dropped, I'm burnt out, I'm overwhelmed, I'm tired all the time. I'm absolutely all about holistic care, about diet, about exercise, about eating good food, eating good, organic, nourishing, rich, full food. That's totally what I do, okay? However, without this piece, without you getting back into a positive, empowered, enriched relationship to your own body and your own energy and your own pussy and your own sexuality, then that can only go so far. Diet and exercise can only go to here. Besides the fact that often women engage things like diet and exercise very mentally, as in overly structured, restricted, suppression, and they're engaged from the very thing that's already suppressed inside them. It's what we often call man mode here, right? Yeah. So we're not going to go down that track. All right. So how does this relate to your feminine power? Well, just as I said there, without this piece of the puzzle, without you starting to ruminate on, think about, wonder about, wow, look, if I got back into a positive, a good relationship to my own body, to my face, my features, my energy, my sexuality, without wondering about that, at least starting there, and wondering about all of the things that might have taught you to believe that that was bad, that it was dirty, that it was messy, that it was smelly, that it was something that you shouldn't engage or turn toward, something you should feel guilty or shameful about. You see, there's a lot of very unconscious no inside you frequently. I'm talking to many of you here. To many women, they've got a lot of layers of no inside them. And this is going to leave you really in a very long, ever decreasing curve in terms of energy and life force inside you. Now, look, the positive side here is these things can be turned around. How? One, we have to be able to look at the emotional and psychological traumas against your sexuality and against your feminine power, okay? So that takes a certain direction and angle. And the second is you have to become embodied. You have to get into a different relationship to your own body, your shape, your energy. That has to change toward a loving, enriching, empowered relationship to your body and your energy. So one, we have to deal with the conditioning and the beliefs, and two, we have to get you embodied, okay? So these two things are required for you to get into this empowered, enriching, joyful relationship to your own feminine energy and power. Okay, let me see if you have any questions, and please stay on topic. It does not help for us to talk about different topics today. We want to stay on topic. If you have questions, please do bring them up. Hello, VR. Hello, Brenda Marie from Puerto Rico. Hello, Aliziz in Sweden. Loves my work. Thank you very much. Ilana says, anxiety is taking so much away. Yeah, anxiety, lack of confidence. I have so many women tell me that they've lost confidence. This is just a travesty. Women have lost confidence in what is innately theirs to have, what's inside them, what is them. When you have been told that these things are bad or wrong or ugly or shameful, of course you're going to lose confidence, and then you're going to be anxious, okay? When a woman tells me she's anxious, I know that you are not in your body. When you learn to get back into your body, the anxiety will go, because the anxiety is because of things happening up here in your head. As I always say, that feminine power is about what's happening from the neck down. It's true. Yep. All right. Let's see if we have some more questions come in. And I do need glasses to be able to see. Ilana, I just answered that. I'm not sure if you came on later. What brings it back? We need to work on both the mental, psychological conditioning and beliefs that have suppressed it. And two, you need to be able to get into your body. You need to have a positive relationship to your body and be in your body. This is what I teach. No worries, Ilana. My pleasure, honey. My pleasure. Cherry on the top. Hi, Candice. Can you guide from where to start, like starting points to be more feminine basics and how to maintain it? Great question, Cherry on top. I'm not sure if you're new to my channel. I think I've seen you before, but I have 150 something videos. Please trail your way through those first. Okay. Another thing I might invite you into just while I have you here is I have a Facebook group in which I go deeper on some topics that I don't do here. So I'm just going to put a little that's a link there. If you're not already in that group, I'd love to have you join. It's called the Smart Savvy Feminine Woman Group. All right. So I want to give you an invitation. Okay. I want to be respectful of your time here. So this very Saturday, the 19th of January, I am conducting a one-day Powerfully Feminine live online salon. Okay. It is a day in which I'm going to be doing practices with my broader international community that I usually reserve only for the women inside of my paid programs. What we're going to do, we're going to have 7 hours together from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You're going to get to dive deep with myself and the women from my internationally paid community, the Powerfully Feminine Sisterhood. And from last count, there are women from over 30 countries and cultures. This work covers many socio-religious, economic backgrounds, and it's my delight to bring you in. There is nobody excluded in my community. We are going to do what we're going to do desire work, okay? Because as Napoleon Hill says, desire is the starting point of all achievement. And he somehow knew that that's because we get plugged into something when we start to engage desire as women. We're going to do a practice that I have devised myself. I've been a dancer for, I don't know, 4 decades, something, okay? I have taught and done yoga asana practices for over 30 years, 3 decades, okay? And in my research and my observation of women, there's some very specific things where women get locked up in their hips and their belly and their pelvis. And I've devised these very specific practices that we will do together on this day called Pussy Power Practices. So this is going to be a Zoom conference. You're going to jump on the conference and you're going to do them with me. We're going to do these together, okay? I'm going to teach you how to do these practices. So there'll be a few little journaling exercises, but most of it's going to be embodiment, engaged physical movement and sensuality practices. Pussy Power Practice is one of them. We're going to do a Queen Rising ritual together. That's just a way I show you how to get up in the morning, to get up and be in your queen, be in your true feminine power. And we're going to do some work on healing some of these wounds to the feminine that you've even been asking me questions about today. We're going to do some journaling. This is directly out of my paid program, the Powerfully Feminine Intensive Course. We're going to do desire setting, which is the feminine way to goal set, also directly out of the Powerfully Feminine Intensive Course. And a new process that I have not taught anywhere else ever, is called the yes process. What you're going to discover in this day is there's a whole load of no inside you. No against your body, no against your sexuality, no against your power, no against your mind and your intelligence, your brilliance, your shining. And this process will reverse the no's. It's a beautiful and powerful process. We'll do that together on the day. Now, the link to enroll is powerfullyfem.com/live 2009. Now, a private session with me is in and of itself $500, okay? Just 1 hour or less than that with me. And a group engagement with me would be a minimum of $297 a day. But as my international community, I'm going to subsidize you to join us in this day. What that will mean is it's going to be just a $96 US dollar investment to join for a full 7 hours of immersive practices with me. Now, I'm literally going to guarantee that you will feel like a different woman at the end of this day. In so much as, if you don't, I will refund you your investment. Okay? That's my promise to you. Because I know that in 45 minutes of doing just pussy power practices, my women feel completely different. All right. So here's the link to enroll. I would love to have you join us. It's time. Rhonda says, at 51, you've helped me get in touch with my sexuality and to stop hiding. Beautiful. Georgina, hello, welcome. Hello from Los Cabos, Baja, California. Welcome, welcome. Beautiful, beautiful. So I've put some links in here for you to, that's the link to enroll. So let me check that that's coming through properly. I want you to be able to join us. And if you have any other questions, let me know, please. This is a time to ask me questions about your feminine energy or indeed about our day this Saturday. In the meantime, I'm going to take a sip of tea. It's cold here in Berkeley, California, USA today. It's quite cold. So I just pulled some, I don't know if you've ever done this as a little girl, but I was literally bringing some sheets, some clothes out of the dryer, when they're hot. And I remembered when I was a little girl, how I would, when my mother would do that, I would just jump on the hot sheets and wrap myself in them. And I was thinking about it as I was walking from the dryer to my bedroom. And I went, well, why don't I do that now? Because I really want to do it. So I wrapped myself in warm sheets. It feels so good. So much pleasure. So playful. Okay, lovelies. All right. So do you have any questions, loves? This is your time to ask me questions. Ilana asks, good question. Does masculine energy help to bring feminine energy? Now, I'm going to interpret your question unless you want to clarify it. If you're talking about masculine energy in yourself, does it bring feminine energy? No, it does exactly the opposite. You see, when we're in our masculine, we engage completely different hormones that displace the feminine in us. It's completely the opposite, okay? So the testosterone and the all of these. I'm just trying to think. I can never remember the other one. Oh, sorry, gone on blank. So anyway, the testosterone, when we engage our own masculine, displaces the oxytocin. It displaces the progesterone. It displaces the estrogens in us. Okay, so that's not a good thing. Now, does masculine energy in a man bring out our feminine? Well, yes, that's very different. That's about polarity. But, my dear, because I'm here to work with you as a woman, your feminine energy also brings out the masculine in a man, okay? But that is not fully our discussion today, because I've created an entire program to help women get into their queen in order to attract a king. But we'll be talking about that in a few months. Thank you, Ilana. The androgens, but there's also I'm trying to think of another word. Anyway. But you see, what happens also, Ilana, is cortisol stress. Exactly, Stein wrote there. What happens is, for women, when we engage the masculine too much, it creates a massive increase in cortisol, okay? The cortisol, the androgens, and the testosterone displace the feminine hormones, the female hormones, okay? Not good for us. For a man, if he doesn't engage the masculine, he doesn't get filled up on testosterone. He thrives on a certain amount of cortisol stress. Very, very, very different for them. Okay, remember, a man has 20 to 30 times more testosterone than us. Okay, I'm answering questions that are on topic. Okay, we're talking about feminine energy. Rhonda says, how do you keep your feminine energy whilst being a mum of 3 and caretaker of a 73-year-old? Well, my dear, you must give yourself time. You must prioritize your time to plug in order to fill up, okay? You see, I say this in the Powerfully Feminine Sisterhood all the time. The reason why I spoke about sexuality and sexual energy and life force here today is we have to plug into it, which means we have to give ourselves time to do that. Okay, we plug in order to turn on brightly and fill up. And you see, when you prioritize yourself, then you get plugged into this unlimited font of energy. Then the caretaking of the children, of the mother, of the family just becomes a joy. It doesn't become a depleting energy. You see, if you don't prioritize yourself, you are only ever going to be pulling from a bank of depleting energy. And I'm very strong about this. You must make time for yourself. You must find a way to prioritize yourself there, Ilana. Okay. Cornelia Mitroy, hello. How to recognize when we act from masculine energy instead of feminine one? Well, you know, that's something that you start to recognize in time, but I can tell you its results are you start to feel laden, heavy, overwhelmed, exhausted, burnt out, whether it's on a daily basis or protracted across time. I can promise you that you will start to recognize those symptoms. Another one, very frequently for women, is their sex drive turns off. They have low libido. It's another way to recognize that you're too much in your masculine energy. All right, my loves, I'm going to start to finish up here today. Sending much, much love to you. So please enroll. We'd love to have you join us at the Powerfully Feminine Live Day. Oops, I wrote that wrong. I put another link here. There's a link in the description. There's a link in the cards at the top also. And we'd love to have you join us for that day. At the end of that day, I will be making very special offers to only those that turn up and do the day, do the work. You see, I can sit here and talk to you about feminine power and energy, but honestly, talking about it isn't going to change anything. And until you actually engage in the work, do the work and the practices, the work meaning, I should call it play, the feminine play, the feminine practices, the feminine embodied techniques, then it will remain an intellectual exercise. So I'm here, I've created this day for you to be able to do that with me and my international community, and I really look forward to seeing you join us. Sending much, much love from my heart to yours. And remember, when you have the courage to go out there and shine, you give others permission to do the same. So let's all go out there and shine this week. Bye-bye for now.